Happy Christmas Eve, everybody. Your boy here, Apollo from Down, Down, Up, Up, and we finally made it. Just 3 reviews left of this lovely Christmas marathon. And we start out with a doozy. A Christmas Story. It's not one I watched often as a kid, but when I got into it in my middle to late teens, oh my gosh, it is hilarious. Do I recommend this in today's audience? No, not really. At least not the original. I know that this is still done in plays, live action, etc., etc. So if you're interested, maybe those are what's worth checking out if you're not familiar with this. If you are, then you understand why I love this movie so much. I feel like this is one of the last original Christmas movies to come out. In a while, really, for me, with a kind of family comedy, so to speak. We're going to read the back, per usual. I'm going to get into some of my favorite scenes, and the good and the bad. So let's go. The Christmas spirit soars to life in this hilarious holiday gem. With sly and gentle satire, this delightful film paints a jaunty Rockwell-like portrait of middle America, all at once amusing, provoking, and heartwarming. In a small 1940s Indiana town, 9-year-old Ralphie Parker dreams of a perfect Christmas morning complete with the ultimate holiday gift, the genuine Red Ryder carbon action 200 shot lightning loader range model air rifle. I did not know that the whole description was on the back of the case. That's hilarious. But when both his gruffly lovable father, Darren McGavin, by the way, who I finally checked out, the Night Stalker and Night Strangler, I'm pretty sure, that's when he's playing the detective going after Supernatural. I highly recommend those. Those were way more fun than I expected them to be. So, again, Darren McGavin, check his stuff out. And Doting Mother respond with the patent, no, you'll only shoot your eye out. Ralphie must pull out all the stops in his efforts to attain his dream. So that's really the main part about this one. A little boy who really wants this BB gun for Christmas. How he thinks he's going to get it? Well, little tactics at first. He'll put a little magazine in his mother's magazine, little article, just trying to grab her attention about it. He'll try to slightly bring it up when he's asked what he wants for Christmas. And then the lengths get a little bit bigger. He writes this essay or theme in school all about the Red Ryder BB gun and thinks that, okay, if his teacher gives him the thumbs up for it, he can show it to his parents and check it out. It's school approved. That obviously doesn't go so well. A last resort would be Santa Claus himself, one of the mall Santas, of course, who is absolutely hilarious. Let's try to get into some details of how this goes down. I do love the characters in this, from the family to some of the side characters, Ralphie's friends, for example. There's that famous scene I'm pretty sure I'm going to use as the thumbnail where one of his friends is triple dog dare to see if his tongue will stick to a pole outside, and shockers, it does, and it does not look fun. I'd love to know how they filmed that, by the way. If anyone knows, feel free to let me know in the comments. And another thing I do like from Ralphie's perspective, he always seems to daydream at times, and we get to see exactly how he thinks things are going to go down. Whether it's the good, like, for example, fantasizing that his teacher's going to give him a great grade on his essay, and everyone's going to go crazy for him, or the bad when he actually gets his real grade, and then he sees his teacher looking like the Wicked Witch. And that's all he hears from everyone. You'll shoot your eye out every time he brings it up. He gets it from his mother. He gets it from the teacher. He even gets it from the Santa Claus in the mall. But what are some of the other things going on? Well, there's this bully that likes to pick on him and his friends when he walks home into school. But when Ralphie finally gets overwhelmed with thinking he's not going to get the BB gun, he finally snaps and takes the bully down. Really like that scene. And then doing Christmas stuff with his family, going out and getting a Christmas tree. And then coming home, helping his dad change a tire that got popped on the highway, only to drop the F-bomb. That doesn't go so well. And the old torture method, of course, shove some soap in the kid's mouth until he gets exactly the lesson he needs. and going to the Christmas parade even, and that's how they eventually get to meet the Santa Claus in the mall after a very tedious line and a very cringe-worthy kid. That I guess I'll touch on that scene a little bit. I don't know what the comedy was there. There is this kid in line waiting to see Santa with Ralphie and his brother, and it's awkward, so to speak. Really awkward. He has these goggles on, these very weird goggles, and he gives Ralphie these weird looks, and to like top it off even more, a quote that definitely has not aged well. Because at the time from the parade, there were all these characters dressed up as the Wizard of Oz, and the Wicked Witch came by, talked to them, and then the little boy talks to Ralphie. I like the Wizard of Oz. My favorite's the Tin Man. Like that, first of all, that's cringy enough, but then when you think about it from today's context, if you're familiar with the lore, that quote hasn't aged well. And that's really all I'm going to touch on. It had to bring it up, though, because it's definitely one of my least favorite parts of the movie. It's nothing for me to laugh at. It's a cringe fest with that. And finally getting to the Santa Claus, who at this point just wants to go home. He doesn't want to be at the mall the whole night. He's ho-ho-hoing a bit too much, scaring the kids. And the best part, though, is to go see Santa, you have to walk up these stairs, and then when he's done talking to you, one of his assistants basically throws you down a slide. Why can't we have something like that here? That would be hilarious. Pre-pandemic, of course. But, oh my gosh, imagine talking to Santa, and then you get to slide your way down. And what are these kids screaming about in terror? That's the best, honestly. And of course, Santa flat out rejects Ralphie's offer with, "You'll shoot your eye out, kid." And that's what pretty much breaks the spirit. If there's a few other noteworthy things to go over, I can't skip the lamp. So the father thinks he's won this major award. And it even comes in a package. We get sort of the classic line. It says fragile all over the box, and he's just like, "Fragile." It must be Italian. Definitely a stereotype that stands even in today's market. I think only 2012 I've heard the same joke from, if you all remember the new Three Stooges, they did that exact same bit on Raw with a wrestler, Santino Marella. So yeah, it's a leg lamp, and honestly, the way it's described as electric sex is hilarious. And the funny thing, somewhere in my neighborhood, I cannot remember exactly where, I have actually seen that same lamp in somebody's window. So that's how long that lore has lasted around here, at least. And then the mother, you could say accidentally or on purpose, broke the lamp, pissed the father off. They have some great interactions in the whole movie. I don't want to go over everything, just personally some of my favorite scenes and how it sort of wraps up, because it's a movie you might enjoy, but I still wouldn't recommend the original, but we're getting close. So finally we get to Christmas Day. All right, we're opening up presents, we're having a great time. And of course, everybody's got that one relative that never sends you anything practical. In this case, I believe it's an elderly aunt who mistakes Ralphie for a girl, sends him these depressing bunny pajamas. Yeah, they're on the cover. He's wearing, and they're just terrible. And somehow the cover doesn't make them look as bad as they actually are in the movie. Garbage. And then it looks like we're all wrapped up. Ralphie didn't get his gun, but then turns out enough, hey, it's behind the desk wrapped up. Obviously his dad got it for him. Has a great line. Santa Claus probably got it for him. Goes out to play with it, and what happens? He shoots his eye out. Yep, blood all over the place. He has to go to the hospital. And if you think that happened, then, oh, you're seriously mistaken. Can you imagine? No, he, I believe, shoots it off of a metal box in the back. I can't remember exactly what. It hits his glasses. They break when he steps on them. And he has to wipe up the whole story with tears, saying that he just got hit with an icicle. So he got lucky, but a stern reminder. Guns aren't toys. As much as people think they are, in today's world, guns, any kind of guns, are not toys. I'm sorry, they're not. But then, yeah, when you want to talk about things that haven't aged well in this movie, it all comes down to the last 5 or so minutes. How do we get there? Well, first of all, we have a turkey cooking, and there are these next door neighbors that have at least a gazillion hound dogs. They get in the house and they ruin the turkey. So we got to go out and eat on Christmas. They go to a Chinese place. And yeah, it's not cool. We have singings of Jingle Bells and Deck the Halls. It's racist. That's really all I can say. It's racist. It's not cool, and that's all I want to touch on it. It doesn't hold up at all well today, which is probably why I never see that scene at all even imitated in any of the plays I've seen of this movie. So that's what it gets a bad rap on. If you can look apart from that, it's close to being an all time Christmas classic. I still enjoy it just the same. I just look aside from its big faults. Again, I wouldn't recommend it unless you have an open mind and you are willing to put up with some faults. It's a nice little movie. If you're new to it, I would watch a play of it or something first. And maybe there is a remake. I might be wrong. There might already be a remake of this movie, but it's something I still like to enjoy. The cast does a great job, and the moments and stereotypes in this movie still live up so far today when you talk about Christmas movies. It's not going to be forgotten, but boy, if it just wasn't for that last 5 minutes, it would have a better place than today. That about does it. Christmas Story, checked and mate. 2 reviews left, ladies and gentlemen. I look forward to seeing you all later for them. And I might as well let you know, they are both going to be late tonight. Possibly some of them coming out even after midnight tonight. Because there are always 2 that I love to watch Christmas Eve the night of. And they might go a bit late. So, if you don't know what they are, I guess I'll give you a little hint. One of them well, there's one movie and one special. The movie is another rendition of A Christmas Carol, and it is the first version of A Christmas Carol I ever watched as a kid, including some of the best figures in children's television. The special, on the other hand, I don't think I need to say much. It is the most well-known classic animated Christmas special of all time, and you haven't seen me talk about it yet, you know it's coming. Those are the hints you're going to get. We'll see you all for those. Hope everybody has a very Merry Christmas. Keep it real.